Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Wednesday, January 25th, 2023, after 3 p.m. Eastern. We'll be having a time for change call tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. Most of us have been taught in this life that when we are not happy, that we should put on a happy face. You ever done that or experienced that? Or told someone that? So that we don't upset other people. We've learned that by putting on a false face, we become accepted by the crowd, and we can manipulate others to play into our emotional game. Truthfully, the false face keeps others from truly seeing how much pain we are actually in. We don't have to take the risk to be vulnerable and real with them. If you find yourself wearing one of these false faces, do not be overly concerned and shame yourself. Society has given this mask to all of us. We have seen these false faces on media advertisements our entire lives. And every commercial that was ever made in TV history, everyone is wearing a fake, I will convince you, manipulative mask. The conditioning is deep in us, so it is not our fault that we have learned this pattern as well. Perhaps the better question to ask is, why do so many of us hide behind these masks? Are we that afraid to be seen and let people feel the sadness, loss, anger, turbulence, or emotional pain that we are truly in? Maybe it's a pain from years ago that we never healed, but is still festering subconsciously inside today, and it only shows itself when we get triggered. Maybe the journey isn't so much about becoming anything. Maybe it's about unbecoming everything that isn't really you, so you can be who you were meant to be in the first place. Paulo Coelho. You ever met anybody like that? You ever come across anybody like that? They appear one way to you, and they're completely the opposite of how they've appeared to you. We are human beings, and we have all been through some sort of emotional challenge, heartbreak, relationship turbulence, feelings of smallness, blame, shame, or betrayal. We were not trained by society how to heal these wounds by being more honest, vulnerable, and openly feeling into our pain for it to heal. People see vulnerability as a sign of weakness instead of the strength, which is actually what it takes to welcome it. If and when you are experiencing any kind of suffering in your life, it's because you have been wearing a mask and you were unaware that you were wearing one. You may not even know that you have one immediately ready to put on right now. The mask is very sly and sneaky and acts like a shield protecting the ego from ever being seen, felt, and heard. Thinking is the absence of understanding. When understanding arises, thinking disappears. Thinking is the absence of understanding. When understanding arises, thinking disappears. Osho. And There are those who are beginning to realize that they got to leave the mind alone. They got to leave the ego alone. They kind of like walk on by. And the only way they can do that is through focusing on the now, their breath, period. That's when you leave the ego mind alone. You can see our perspective is different because we're looking from the outside in. And we're not judging, we're just viewing. And we're able to see the degradation of the social structure of the planet. We're able to see a lot of things. And we become aware of a lot of things, and we stop thinking. When we become aware, we stop thinking. The false face doesn't allow us to be truly intimate with people. It stops us from feeling our pains together. We do not reveal our loneliness, true tiredness, powerlessness, and struggle that we are having every day with everyone. Everyone's Facebook posts always show how wonderful and successful our lives appear to be. Now, once the mask is removed, we may feel naked and even more powerless in life. And this is truly scary. Yet this vulnerability is our first step towards liberation and true empowerment. We cannot hide behind a mask and expect to be happy in this life. And unfortunately, most hide behind the mask. If we want real success, real happiness, and real love in life, in this life, then we must let down our guardedness completely. We must choose to take the risk with our loved ones to be real, to talk about what we cannot talk about, and to be deeply honest with ourselves on the deepest levels. All the greatest treasures are hidden behind that which we wouldn't want to be with. Interesting. Pamela Wilson. If and when we are going to become free from the problems and inner battles we are experiencing with our life partner, our job, our boss, finances, family, friends, or the health of our bodies, then we must be honest with ourselves first. We need to first acknowledge what the problem truly is and feel into it. We need to be radically real and fearless anytime we are dealing with our egos. It is so slippery. This realness can bring up tremendous fear inside that can make us try to escape from it in a variety of ways. Experience life in all positive ways. Good, bad, bittersweet, dark, light, summer, winter. Experience all the dualities. Don't be afraid of experience, because the more experience we have, the more mature we become. You could take seriously, you could take a 15-year-old, right? And that 15-year-old has experienced a whole heck of a lot in a very short period of time. You could take a 75-year-old man who believes his experience has been quite a bit throughout life, but yet the 15-year-old is more mature than the 75-year-old. Reason is because one has experienced much more experience than the other. We must choose to be deeply aware, as we may distract ourselves from being real through the mobile phone, food, legal and illegal substances, other people, or anything that is entertaining for the ego. Now, when we stop and can fully feel this fear of being real, it is a really good sign. Then we have identified that which is creating all suffering. Now half the battle is done. The next step is to take a leap into the unknown and make the commitment to continuously be vulnerable with your false face the instant it pops up. You will soon find that the reward you receive from being open, honest, and vulnerable is 1,000 times more valuable than unconsciously wearing this heavy protective armor that is trying to micromanage reality and create more stagnant suffering. If and when you truly remove your mask forever, start with letting go of caring so much about what your friends and family and partner think of you. Instead, get excited about the possibility of discovering your connection to an infinite divine power inside your body. This power is the only thing that is real, as it cannot put on a false face, and is always authentic, real, and free. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing. And nothing unreal exists. Course in Miracles. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. We must be willing to take the risk to trust in the divinity inside of us and know that it is guiding everyone in every moment of this life along the way. We must choose to realize that our intrinsic nature is divine and sacred. We must choose to remember that we are all intelligent, kind, and loving beings from birth. Have you ever met a condescending, critical, judgmental baby? Have you ever? No, they don't exist. We were born pure without this protective, harsh conditioning. Our true nature at the very core is pure and innocent. We are all still babies inside at the core. This pure being is already free from judgments, rules, perceptions, and assumptions that this society holds us to. We start making real spiritual progress in this lifetime when we realize this and abandon the habit of giving anything in the outer world power over us. This means we stop blaming the outer world for our inner conflicts and take responsibility for feeling the divinity that always exists at our core. Throughout the ages on this planet, generation after generation, we have been taught to look out there, look for God. Something in the sky. And the truth is, we don't look out there for God, something in the sky. We look inside these bodies. We can also choose to stop letting any falsehood control our lives by taking responsibility for the love inside. We are the creators of everything in our lives. All we need to do is give ourselves more compassion, patience, and gentleness. These three qualities will expand our consciousness so that we can melt through the ego and liberate our mind. There are as many ways to freedom as there are grains of sand on the beaches of all the world. When the inner conflict in our inner world is spiritually liberated, it will open up our emotional bodies, and we will feel more spaciousness in our thinking, our thoughts will have a quality to them that is more relaxed and real. If we can all do this together, we will be coexisting on an extremely enlightened planet one day. We have to participate relentlessly in the manifestation of our own deep, eternal loving. Elizabeth Gilbert. Our lives are an invitation to be real. Being real means being free. It might sound a little outrageous to some to take the risk to be real, authentic, and open with everyone you come in contact with every day. Yet it's an opportunity to celebrate this amazing heart and soul inside of us. Being real is the doorway to self-realization. We are summoned to stop hiding our light behind the fear of what others may think about you. Running away from honesty is a sure way to create more misery. You are such a beautiful being. There's nothing inside you so wrong that you need to hide from it. You're human and divine. Being real is the doorway to self-realization. We are summoned to stop hiding our light behind the fear of what others may think about us. Running away from honesty is a sure way to create more misery. We are such beautiful beings. There is nothing inside us so wrong that we need to hide from it. We are all human and divine. Any ugliness you perceive in yourself is only the ego's colored judgment and misguided interpretation. When our masks are removed and we give everyone permission to do the same, we will be surprised when others are liberated and filled with joy. When we are simply sharing with them what we thought you could not share. Living from this space, everyone can be liberated. Dream big and dare to fail. There's nothing inside us that is wrong, stupid, bad, or ugly. Nothing. Nothing. There's only God inside. There's only God inside of all of us at the core. Once we take the risk to be real and are truly sharing ourselves with everyone in a very real, open, and exposed way, we will see that they start being more authentic with you. Suddenly, Everyone feels more connected with each other. This is where the entire world begins to awaken. We can start liberating ourselves from this false face habit with this simple heart meditation. It is the ego that needs the ideas of equality, superiority, inferiority. These are props. Without these, the ego cannot exist. Withdraw the props, and the ego falls flat on the ground and disappears. It is the ego that needs the ideas of equality, superiority, inferiority. These are props. Without these, the ego cannot exist. Withdraw the props, and the ego falls flat on the ground and disappears. Okay. Well, that's a choice. If you've had enough pain in your life and are ready for a significant change, I invite you to take the risk to be real with everyone you encounter for the next 72 hours. 3 days. I invite you to take the risk to be real with everyone you encounter for the next 3 days. Try it. Do it for your freedom. Remove your mask with your friends, family, loved ones, and everybody else that you meet if you can. Let down your guard in a group of people so everyone can see the whole you, the real you, and let yourself feel naked. Be the vulnerable, fragile being you truly are. Something very magical and powerful happens when you are real. People start to listen to you. They hear you on a deeper level. The secret to softening with others is being so open and exposed that you naturally bring your full attention into your heart. The mask happens when we share from up in the head, yet when we bring our awareness into the heart and allow our mind to rest there, the mask loses power and your ego cannot take over anymore. Something very magical and powerful happens when we are real. People start listening to you. They hear you on a deeper level. The secret to softening with others is being so open and exposed that you naturally bring your full attention into your heart. The mask happens when we share from up in the head, yet when we bring our awareness into the heart and allow our minds to rest there, the mask loses power and our ego cannot take over anymore. Remember always, there is a massive love hidden within your innermost being. It will show itself more frequently as you learn to relax into what is real. This love is powerful. It will give you the courage to be real in every life situation. This loving feeling is a sign that our masks are melting away. Yay. The sun does not seek the source of light in time nor space. It simply knows itself as source and rejoices in the light. Be the source. Jeff Wasser. So a healing heart meditation to become more real. In this meditation, we are going to practice focusing on our heart center persistently, consistently, as often as possible. You start with resting your attention on the location of your physical heart space right now. Resting your attention on the location of your physical heart space right now. Notice what this feels like. To relax your awareness there. Take a few long, slow, deep breaths into the heart. And tell your heart gently and quietly that everything is going to be okay. And it can relax now into what is real. That which is real is that which never changes. Bring your awareness to your heart center and try this now. It may take 5 to 10 attempts before you feel anything. You practice this meditation every morning when you wake up. Do this for a few weeks in a row, and you will begin to notice something divine happening. The experience of bliss starts to sneak its way into your daily life with subtle repetitions. Do not worry if the mind wanders. When focusing on the heart, do not pay attention to the mind. Just rest your attention as often as you can on the energy inside your heart. Feel the sweetness of your own heart, the divinity of your soul. It is real. It is the only thing that is real, in fact. Develop this intimate heart connection with yourself. And in every moment of life, this life, you will taste the joyful nectar of your life. It's good to know that in any meditation, you cannot force anything. The sweetness of the heart will rise on its own. Your job is simply to relax and wait patiently for it. Have the patience as if you were going to sit for 1,000 years, patiently and peacefully. The deeper that you can relax, rest, and retreat into your heart center, the mask which you were once wearing will have no choice but to fall off. A mask cannot compete with, it just cannot compete with the power of the heart. The most incredible thing about this meditation is that every person who meets you, who even sits near you, will not be able to remain stuck in their mask when your mask is completely gone. They will feel like a fool for having one. In time, you'll see that everyone's mask has to fall off, simply because they feel how light and free life is to be without it. The more liberated and lighter we become, the quicker others' masks melt in your mere presence. And yes, we are that powerful. Soon, you will fill the room with a joy that permeates everyone's heart. You have the power to change this. You have the power to change this entire world. one smile at a time. That person right now is you. Have fun dropping your mask this week. And whatever you do, remember that you're the master here. So don't take yourself so seriously. It's just a serious mask. Heaven is the moment. Hell is the burning desire for this moment to be different. It's that simple. And where is heaven and hell? It's within you. You could make this life a sheer hell for yourself, real easy, day after day, or you can make it a complete heaven. Dive deeply into what your heart is yearning for. You can see all the layers, so to speak, that we lay, that we create for ourselves. And it is a step-by-step process. You let go. Some people will be talking and they'll say to someone else that, well, I go with the flow. Well, how can you do that? You know, don't you plan and set goals and do all that stuff? Yeah, but it's not the way you think. I go with the flow. I work from the place of the now, moment to moment. See, in moment to moment, you can't really plan because you're in the now. Many people are afraid to go into the now because to them it's an unknown. And quite frankly, all of us should be embracing the unknown. How many people you really believe are risk takers? Not many. Not many at all. Why? Because they're afraid of the unknown. You're not going to go into a dark room unless you have a flashlight or a light to light that dark room up to see what's in there before you go in there, right? That's not a risk taker. A risk taker is someone who opens the door, sees it as dark, and says, well, I can maneuver in here. I can see a little bit here. I don't know what's in the corner. I don't know what's above me, but that's all right. Unknown, you've got a dock, right? Here. And you have some friends, and so one friend says, I'm just going to go dive into the lake. And the other one says, you don't know how cold that's going to be. That could be really shocking, dangerous. The other friend says, so what? The unknown, and that's where all the possibilities are. So they run and jump into the water. And then they ask their friend, how is it? I'm not going to tell you. You can find out for yourself. We are conditioned to believe the opposite of true. Okay? We are conditioned to believe that what we believe is true. But we know that the reality that we truly are It is not. You can bask in your own love, bliss, joy, happiness. Or you can fight yourself incessantly throughout this life, come down on yourself, not trust yourself, not have faith in yourself, right? And wing it. You can see that in these meditations that we have a learning. We can choose that or not. It's our prerogative to choose it. How many times, like the next time you're inspired to do something, don't think twice about doing it. Just jump into it. Just jump into the action and do it with a smile on your face. Anytime that any of us, every time that we take action from any alive, fun, inspired place, we're tapping into the boundless energy of our infinite souls, which will leave us feeling rejuvenated, more conscious, and liberated. Spontaneous, inspired actions are an extremely powerful vehicle for increasing our manifesting vibrations. When they are combined with the fuel of a free childlike joy in our hearts, this universe will allow us to manifest anything we want in our lives. Everything is manifesting. Everything. There isn't anything that isn't manifesting. Every microsecond, every quantum quark is manifesting. We're constantly manifesting, 24/7. Yes, even when we're asleep, we're manifesting. Now, perhaps some of us are wondering how we can begin to feel inspired and take massive action in our lives when we only feel like lying on our couch and watching TV all day long. First of all, let's start with visualizing the ideal dream life we want to create. And I highly recommend you dream big. You're going to dream big. And let your dream get you excited about being alive. See yourself feeling exuberant, full of energy, overflowing with abundance, love, and time. Visualize that you are having, doing, and living your life's dream, and let these feelings sink deeply into your every cell throughout the body. Now, after you've taken a few minutes to visualize the life that you want, then take one physically energetic action that you want to do today. Maybe going for a walk, riding a bike, cleaning your house, washing the car. The more energy you can spend today, the more energy you'll have tomorrow. Now, if and when you do become a lazy couch potato one day, you're just sending an energetic message into the universe to receive more sluggish, low vibrational experiences the next day. We all are incredible masters at repeating habits. The question is, what habit do you most want to be repeating? So here's a few divine power of inspired actions this week. Experience a super stillness inside. Right? It's an interesting thing that when we stop all movement of the body-mind and rest deeply into the deep wellspring of stillness inside, a surge of creativity, inspiration, and energy arises up within you. You instantly feel more inspired once you reside in stillness for a few minutes and quiet that constantly moving body and incessant chattering mind. If your mind is caught in the rat race of getting ahead in life, and you cannot seem to summon the energy to sit still and do nothing, just sit as if you were a solid stone statue. The body will continue breathing for you. You just relax for some time in this total solid stillness. Be patient. Listen to the current of energy and consciousness that is underneath it all. If you cannot find stillness after many weeks of sitting, then you are trying too hard. Let go of all efforting and just relax into your beingness. You don't have to manifest anything to be happy. Happiness is our natural state. When the mind has truly let go of attachment to all desires, we effortlessly discover a place where there is an abundance of joy bubbling up from inside us. Bring your attention to your breath. The mind is it's used to being in control and leading the way through your life. If you'd like to take back the reins, start with following the breath movement in your body. You will naturally harness the outrageous power of the mind by following your breath very closely. Follow it as if you are trying to catch the tail of a sea snake swimming through the ocean. Keep your attention on it as it moves up and down in figure eights, flows in and out. Simply go with however deep or shallow it goes. You'll soon access a great resource of energy, awareness, and inspiration by practicing this trick. You also find the silence beneath the mind chatter. After a few minutes, a powerful awareness will ignite in you, and you'll find a great energy inside you. It is always continuously following the breath. You'll reboot your entire system and open up your body-mind to divine inspiration. The breath is the life force of God. And by paying attention to its presence, you'll start hearing and feeling major opportunity to follow it. It is one of the easiest ways to discover your natural state of divine inspiration, which has always been inside you. I'll join you in the meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still. For today, investigate this experience called breathing all day long. Keep bringing your mind back to the breath, following it wherever it flows. Be with it. If it's shallow, deep, fast, or sluggish, don't try to change your breath in any way. Simply connect to it. Feel it from your heart, as if you're making friends with it. Notice how it changes when you merge with it and allow yourself to become it fully. This is a real soft, easy way to connect with the God that you are within that body, through the breath. Take this with you for the rest of the day and the evening and night and following morning. We'll be back here tonight, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 2023. We continue our Time for Change call, and we'll just call it the unraveling. Be good to yourselves every moment, kind, generous, humble, and stay in deep gratitude. You'll never run out of things to be grateful for.